Okay, so we had another few goes at doing this and figuring out how we can actually like solve this whole issue. Basically, what we've done is we are using AI to essentially separate the data from this 212 yada yada to this essentially. Obviously, this is from the same emails on the website, but just some column. This column here has pulled up some emails. This column here has pulled up other emails. But what we're doing now is we're trying to figure out if, for example, like some of them like this or this then becomes this. This is like the ideal, right? Now, what we want to do is we want to actually get rid of this. So I'm going to go to edit. And what I've done is given it a prompt here. I'm just going to save this prompt as clean emails. Remove text from emails, and that means if I ever need to use it again, and I've got the prompt. Cool. So we're just training it here a little bit. So as you can see, this is like what I've used. This is the prompt. So remove any text from this to this. Okay, cool. So, but what we need to do is we need to just go and adjust the settings, and we need to use AI within AI, which basically says if is includes if there is no email found, then do not then keep it empty. That's it there. Okay, cool. So email found from emails from site. Keep output empty. Cool. So let's try that and see if it works. Because then what we can do is we can very simply filter it by what's empty and what's not empty, essentially. And I know this is a bit of a workaround, but this is way quicker still than column will run. Okay. Okay, maybe that's not the best thing to do. Do not output anything if email is not found. So let's try again for the first 5 rows. And if it works, what doesn't work? Let's have a look. I'm going to just pause this whilst it's doing this. Okay, great. So I think this should work now, and that means we can copy this prompt and run it for the next column, and then we can get those emails. Then we can verify those emails. Once we verify those emails, then we can start figuring out how we're going to write the first line with AI, basically. So just let this run. So no email address is found. I think this should run. I think it's just this one here. And it says no email address is found. Right, cool. So we can filter that pretty easily, which is great. So what we're going to do now is we're going to run all of this. Run all. And just while this runs, we are going to pause this. All right, so what we're going to do now is, so it's getting a little bit complicated, but what we're going to do is we're going to verify the emails. So the reason we're going to do that now is so that we don't, basically we figure out, because we've got 3 different email columns and we can't just merge the email columns. So we need to figure out which one of those emails is verified, and then based on that, then merge the columns, right? So that we can have one email that we're going to reach out to. So if we've got two emails and 2 different email columns, we obviously want to find the verified one and then reach out to that one. If they're both verified, then we'll just pick one and choose that. But at least here we can kind of filter through the ones that are actually verified. So we're going to do that by going over to here. I'm going to valid and do validate emails. And then we're going to add the emails. So we're going to go to response, Formula 1. Is that correct? Should actually be So don't save that. So this is, just change this to emails 1 and save that. Just change this to emails 2 and save that. Okay, great, cool. So now we can go over to here and we can go to validate email. I'm going to add this. We're going to go to emails 1, and we're also going to go to where is email 2? Okay, well, we're just going to use that one for now. Save changes. Not quite sure why this one's not coming up. Emails 2 should be coming up. Figured it out. So we're going to go only safe to send emails because we don't want catch-alls. We always want to do everything we can to optimize for deliverability. So if an email is a risky email, then we're not sending it to them. So we're going to do that and just say it and just double check on the first 10 rows. And we're going to find the verified emails. And then after we've done that, we're going to also then verify these work emails that we found from doing our Google/LinkedIn enrichment and search. And then once we've got that, then we should have a list of validated emails. Now, obviously, there's only about 183 at the moment. So I'm guessing it's probably going to be whittled down to maybe like 50, max 100, but I doubt that. So it's obviously not found anything. So all rows. And yeah, as you can see, all of these aren't actually safe to send emails. There's only 1, 2. So it's really, really whittling it down. So what we're actually going to have to do is we're going to add more businesses as part of this entire workflow. So at the moment, I think when we started off, we started with like 400. Ideally, you probably want to find like 1,000, 2,000. And then I think from that, you should have maybe like 10, 20, 30% that have verified emails at the end of it. And then, so once we've validated or got the verified emails, then we're going to move on to the AI personalization and how we would actually structure that. And then we're going to push it to our smart lead campaign after we double checked everything and make sure everything's all good. We're going to set up the copy on smart lead and then use it from there and then push it from there. All right, we're going to cut out the rest of that part from before because I was rubbing my own shit. So what we're doing right now is we are validating the emails from these 2 columns. So we've got emails 2 and emails 1. And then what we're going to do is afterwards, we're going to validate the work emails from here. And then we're going to create one master list of emails that are validated. Now, obviously, right now we've got 183 rows in total, but we only want to send it to safe to send, right? And the reason why a lot of these aren't actually coming up is probably because they catch all emails. We do not want to send it to catch all emails. We want to always send it to safe to send, just because that's going to keep our deliverability as high as possible. And the reason why we're able to get like 70, 80, 90% open rates, because we really focus on deliverability. So that is what we're trying to do at the moment. Once we've got a list of valid emails, then we're going to move on to the AI personalization. So this is going to take information from if we go over to here, we can see the website description and so on. We're going to take little snippets of that description and we're going to write an AI prompt that says, basically find something that's interesting or comment on that description, and then use that as part of the first line. So that'll be the first line. And then after that, we're going to push these emails directly into Smart Lead. We're going to write out some of the email copy, and we're just going to set up the campaign, and then we're going to push the leads from here straight to Smart Lead so that we can run the campaign and go from there. Okay, awesome. So now we've gone through all of that, we can see here that we've actually got 53 rows. So we've got 53 valid emails from, I think, a list of about 400, which is about an eighth. So yeah, so if we were to add, so if we wanted a list of about 200 to 300 valid emails, we would probably need to add in like an extra, like basically times that by 4. Right, essentially. So we can do that, and we can do that relatively easily. We can just add more lists to here, more businesses, more Google Maps, etc. on Google Maps. But we have this initial list of 53, which we're going to use for the kind of intent of this video. So what we're going to do next is we're going to use AI, and we're going to use AI to write a personalized line. Now, this is made really, really simple because there's some really good templates within here. But what we're going to do is we're going to go over to use company mission to write first line, and then we're going to write based on the company description. So this is going to be website description. Great template. I'm going to make sure that we're using GPT 3.5 because it doesn't need to be that super complex. And then we're just going to try and test that on the first 5 rows, see what it looks like. And then once we can see what it looks like, then we can run it for the rest of them. So I was on your site and saw you deliver affordable personalized dental care in New York. Okay, great, perfect. Then it's like AI-powered personalized sales prospecting. I'm not sure about that one. Why has that one come up? What's going on there? Let me have a look and see. So it'll be in the description. Full name, description. Let's see. Interesting. I'm not sure why. It's super random. Let's see. Personalized sales prospecting. Very weird. This is the input. Okay, so what we want to do actually is we want to just change this. So if you want to change this. Okay, great. So we're going to delete that. We're going to add that in, and then I was on your site and saw that you. Let's see what it says. Skilled dentist in West Village. Saw that you help people. Dentist. A skilled dentists based in West Village. Great. Okay, perfect. So something like that, and then we can just try that again. So at least there, what we're doing is kind of giving it a little bit more context, essentially, just to say like, hey, can you basically make it look like this, essentially. So sometimes you just have to train the AI a little bit because it's not gonna. So I was on your site and saw you offer dental services. Perfect. I was on your site and saw you provide conference in NYC. So these can be a little bit generic, but at the same time, it's somewhat personalized to a certain extent. We can also go more in detail, and we can do like a load of different things with AI, but I'm just going to show you these. So we're just going to hit. So these are all good. So we're going to go save and run 53 rows. So we're going to run 53 rows like this. Then we're going to name this to AI first line 1. Cool. Then what we're going to do is the other line that we're going to use is, and this isn't using AI, but we're going to use the phone, right? So we're going to say, hey, just tried to call you, contact you on this number here, wasn't able to get through, then go into the rest of the email. But because we can't read this fully, and because some of these are empty, what we're going to do is for the ones that work, we're going to use that first line. For the ones that are empty, we're going to use the second first line, right? Which is just tried to call you on X, couldn't get through, and so on and so forth, right? So we're going to create a conditional formula for the ones that are empty, and we're going to tell it to create something like that. But before we do that, we need to just normalize the phone number, because I've done this before and it doesn't work exactly with that particular phone number. So we're going to just go over to here and create a formula. Output the phone number from. Boom. I'm going to put phone. Output. Cool. We could also put in readable format or something, but okay, cool. Phone. Let's just try that and see if that works. Okay, cool. So this will pop up in a second. At some point. Okay, let's refresh. Okay, great, perfect. So that's working. So what we're going to do is we're going to create a formula. So if the input, boom, and then this can be first line, is empty, then create the line just tried to call you on, and then we're going to input the phone number, input this phone number here, but couldn't get through. Perfect. So that's what we're going to output. And create the line and output. So basically, if it's empty, then we'll use that, and then we create a master column, and in that master column, we'll have our first line. So if they've got a description and we've got a first line on that, then great. So here we go. So all of these are obviously done. Okay, perfect. Just tried to call you on 888 but couldn't get through. Perfect. So obviously we don't need like the full line, but I'm just being extra with it. But anyways, so then here now we have a master column. So this is master first line. Great. So now this is our first line. So we go, I was on your site and saw you deliver advanced dental treatments. I was on your site and saw you provide quality dental care in New York City. I was on your site and saw you create healthy smiles and using artistry. Great. I was on your site and saw you are top dental office in New York City. Perfect. Cool. So if they don't have that, then we use the second line, just try to call you on X and go for it there. Cool. So that means now we have our first lines. So that's somewhat personalized. We can obviously go like way more in detail if you really want to personalize it, but just for the sake of this video and this example, that's just showing you like a really surface level of personalization. But we can use AI to personalize any sort of thing. We could, if we really wanted to, we could do it based on their like LinkedIn post, their summary on LinkedIn, saw that you've been running this dental practice for X amount of years, and so on and so forth. It really just depends on how in detail we want to do it and how much work we want to put into the personalization. But this is just, it should give like a good start at least. Then as part of our emails, we usually have in the follow-up email, so in the second email that we send personalized ideas based on their specific company, right? And based on the services that we're offering. So as an example for this, we would go an enrichment, use AI, and we're going to go on one of the templates. And on these templates, so 3 creative ideas. So this was for our previous client. Where is this? We want to go on to the website description. Cool. Go here. And we want to just change this not for pool builders, but for dental practice. Okay, cool, great. And then we just want to change that to so this would be for driving not qualified pool jobs, but for full arch appointments. Okay, great, perfect. So then we're going to test this out and just try it on the 5 rows. So you'll see in just a second that this is basically going to create 3, so personalized, so launch live Q&A, providing patients for procedures, runs. Okay, great. Run Instagram. Okay, great. Use trip forward patients. Okay, fantastic. So this is basically offering them 3 ideas that they could do for their marketing using or social media marketing to help them hit X goal, basically, which is full arch appointments, which is the service that we're offering. So this is if they don't respond to the first email, they'll get this email and they'll say like, hey, here's some ideas that you could use. It's personalized. it looks thoughtful and well thought out, as opposed to just a kind of spam email. You're trying to provide value. Even if it is somewhat generic to a certain extent, it's still value, but it is also personalized. So to highlight Morningside's dental expert team, right? So it's actually calling out specific things. So yeah, we run that. We're going to run that for all of these. I hope I put it on GPT 3.5 and not GPT 4. I hope so. I very much hope so. Nope. So, and we're going to run these for us again because we want it on GPT 3.5, not 4. Cool. And then we're going to go 1, 2, 3. Creative ideas. Great. And so for the ones that don't have this, so because they don't have a description, we're just going to create a generic line instead that we can use, because they're going to go into the same sequence. So there might be like 1 out of 10 that doesn't have the description. So in that case, we're just going to create a generic line, and then 9 out of 10 of them are going to be personalized. The other one's not. So, but yeah, you can see that it's pretty good and it's pretty cool because it's pretty targeted. And then we're going to just run this. So run all rows. And then, yeah, as you can see, we've quite literally gone from in about 20 minutes. It's taken me a little bit longer, but you can see how pretty quickly we can kind of go through this whole thing. And there is a little bit of trial and error and everything, but pulled businesses from Google Maps, dental practices in the US, at least around the New York area. We have, we could create personalized lines on reviews, ratings, things like that. That might also be something else that we can test out. In fact, actually, I probably will do that. And then, so once we've got that, we can also, we've also been able to find the name of the owners. We've also been able to find their emails, validate their emails, and then use AI to write an initial personalized line. And as well as also some ideas that they could use around social media marketing to help them get more full arch appointments. In this case, that's the service and the offer that we're running. So yeah, you can see how we've gone quite literally from nothing to this. And obviously, if you want to add more, you can just keep adding more businesses to here, and the whole table will kind of automatically auto-populate with all of the previous things that you've kind of added in. So the AI prompts and everything like that, and it will just auto-populate. It will find the validated emails and so on. And then once you've got this, and once you've got a full table of say like 100, 200, 300 leads, etc., you can do an initial trial run. And then from there, you can kind of push that to a smart lead, and you can actually run the campaign. So that's pretty much everything for this video. That's quite literally step-by-step exactly how we do this and something like this. I can show you the results of something like this over the next week or two, and once we've actually got the campaign up and running and once everything's moving in the right direction. But yeah, that should give you an idea of how you can quite literally take something from 0 all the way to emails, AI, everything, all within one tool, all pretty damn quickly. If you're going to do this any other way, to actually write out all of these lines, to write out anything like this, would take you hours and hours and hours of manual research, VAs, things like that. This cuts all of those costs, all of that time, and allows you to do it literally within half an hour and set up an entire campaign within half an hour. So yeah, I hope you found this helpful. Steal it, take it, use it, and yeah,